So out of the box or out of the wall, whatever you want to call it, we have, boom, another one, which I reviewed, sold, deleted the footage, and now I'm re-uploading, or I'm redoing the footage. Come on. This one is Superman Red Sun, right? But all characters, Wonder Woman, which actually she isn't Russian this one, Batman, Superman, Russian, commies versus America. Who's gonna win? Chase Lehocky here, the Blue Futon, reviewing Superman Red Sun. So what's it about? Pretty simple premise. We are in Russia. I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I watched this. It's been a minute. I'm reviewing it, or reviewing it. Anyway, but Superman, he's like, I am Russian and I could do whatever I want. Actually, I don't want to hurt these kids, because if I hurt these kids, and then the girl's like, you got to go to the state. These are my horrible Russian accents. And he's like, okay, I'll go to the state to Stalin, and we are commies, and commies are good. But then he goes to America, because he's like, you capitalistic pigs. And they're like, well, okay, sure, we have flaws, but, you have these camps as well. And he's like, impossible. Then he sees, oh my God, we do have these camps. And that is where Batman's parents dies. And now Batman's like, F commies, F socialists, you going down. And Superman's like, no, the socialists are good. The commies are good. And no, commies aren't good. So when I was first watching my dog wants pets so much right now. So when I was watching the first 20 minutes of this film, I wasn't digging it. I was like, fuck the commies. I'm not a commie person. Everyone who thinks communism works, you don't know how it works, because you have these things where it's like concentration camps. Cool. Then you have everyone's like, oh, everyone gets everything except the people on top. And then the people at the bottom can't get anything. They cannot get anything. They will not get anything, because it's basically a hierarchy of, if you know a person, you can never, get out of that, because you're scum. You're scum in the commie world. And you got to fight for bread. You got to fight for eggs. You got to fight for money. You got to fight for freaking everything. And so, yeah, it just doesn't work at all. So, yeah, no communist could do podcasts. I can promise you that there is no podcast in a communist nation. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this movie. And after, the whole experience was done, I actually really dug it. Like I said in my other reviews, if it's a DC Universe movie that kind of does nothing different, I'm just not a fan of it. They're fun, yes, but I expect something different. Like Gods and Monsters. Like I said, I keep bringing that up with Michael C. Hall playing Batman. That is such a different, and Benjamin Bratt is in it as well. Such a different, unique experience to that movie, where I really dug it. And the same thing happened with this one, where you get the different aspect of, Batman. He wants to bring down Superman because he didn't help his family while he was in the gulags. Wonder Woman, where she has the whole, men bad, men bad, men bad, men bad. And then at the very end, she's like, men are still bad. And in the USA, Lex Luthor is actually the president, and Lois Lane is the wife. So you get that interesting dynamic, too, where Lex Luthor's kind of the good guy, and that's very rare in these movies. The animation style is different, and I really did enjoy that. The voice acting, I think this one's Jason Isaac, does a fantastic job. And that's what I also like about these, off-the-cusp ones, is you do get these new voice actors playing these characters that you kind of get the Kevin Conroys. You get all those people that play the same character over and over and over again, which is cool and all, but it's cool to get a different iteration of these different characters. This is a violent one. There's a good amount of gore. There's a good amount of oh snap moments where you're like, oh, we're actually gonna go that far, and I really did dig it. Yeah, you could say some of the negatives is it kind of does go back to forth of America commies, America commies, America commies, of who are we actually gonna follow? And I do wish the Batman storyline was more prominent. It felt like the Wonder Woman story was more prominent, which I understand why they would do that. But I feel like Batman had more to give in this story, but they decided not to, because this is all about, Superman, Brainiac, as well as Lex Luthor, what they're doing in America. And I know in the Green Lantern, there's also a small storyline about Green Lantern, a new organization to beat Superman when they go to Russia. Also, there is also another storyline of them trying to build their own Superman. It's like a person that, kind of explodes. So there's a lot of different aspects of this movie that I really dig. So overall, Superman Red Sun, it's a very unique look at what each system has. Capitalist, communism. Yes, like I said, I'm a capitalistic person. I feel like anyone could do what they do to get up in there. Like, here. Did I start off, no. But you know what? I slowly got a good job. I'm slowly saving money, house, etc., etc. In a communist nation, I couldn't own this stuff. I'd be working a job I don't want to work. I would be like praying to a leader, and I only had that one leader for 20, 30 years. What system's better? So Superman Red Sun will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futons, which equals that 90%. So let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics at 89% with 18 of them. Audience score 65% with over 250. But Jake, a bunch of commies in the audience score. Anyway, what do we got? CNN actually gave it a positive, so I mean, CNN's, somewhat anti-commie, I guess. But they are the Clinton News Network. Anyway, 89, 65, 90. Chase is out here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing's Futontopia. You Blue Futonians, think about a great day. I don't care what to say tomorrow, a week from now, a month, or a year from now. Every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And I'm sorry that I have to review. I got to re-review these shows.